Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films. Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
We started the Olympics. It's like what you're watching is boring. So it's like, oh, let's try another event. And then that becomes boring. And then you're trying another event.
Well, because it's live, you know.
Yeah.
You're just kind of waiting in between things.
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. Them waiting around for waves while they're surfing.
Well, we turned to surfing and it was
oh my God.
I was like, I thought surfing required waves.
Yeah, I thought maybe, will there be any surfing in this surf competition?
Watching fencing was funny because
wow, just not as sexy as like the Count of Monte Cristo, or
it's not a sword fight.
It's a lot of this, a lot of
like kind of teasing someone.
It is, yeah.
But I saw
it's
them
like two dicks and they're both teasing each other at the same time.
But I saw a judge gave them a knock for passivity.
Yes, exactly.
Which was interesting.
If they do not attack each other within a 1 minute period, then it's just like, okay, you guys are being wussies.
A lot of the time, the person who did go on the
attack, yeah,
would be the one who didn't get the point.
Yeah. See, that's the whole thing, is like you open yourself up because the person, see, how do you say this? Do you say Paris or Perret or Perrier? That's the defense. But how is it said?
I don't know. I'd have to see it.
I think it's Perret. Like a beret.
Well,
you can wear a beret while you pere.
You say en garde, and I was like, well, this is like a French sport. The French ought to be good at this.
All the Christians are all up in arms.
So are you up in arms?
No,
You're
absolutely.
A Christian?
I am a Christian, but I'm not a stupid Christian. Okay.
Don't call them stupid.
Well, I'm just saying that the things that they get upset about sometimes are quite dumb. Okay, I would like to defend God for a second. This idea that if you had a friend that was incapable of having anybody make fun of them or anybody to parody them or anybody that...
They would be schizo.
You wouldn't have that friend?
Hell
if
no.
somebody said to you, it's like, yeah, I have a friend, but boy, you better not ever say anything that they don't like or make fun of them, because they're going to get pissed at you.
Or a parent.
Right. Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, you don't have that person as a friend.
Well,
that's a bad idea.
Here's the thing. It's like we're projecting our concerns onto that other person.
Yeah, it's the American Puritanism.
These people thought they saw dollar signs.
No. It was really funny. Because there was like this professor on like Instagram or something, and he was talking, and he was like saying, yeah, whenever they say they're not sending their best, he's like, do you think the Pilgrims were the best?
No.
No, they were the people that Britain didn't want.
Yeah, they were like, okay, fine.
The Witch is a great example because it's like this one guy is like way more conservative and crazy than all the other pilgrims.
Yeah.
So he wants to go out in the middle of the woods and live an even crazier life until, of course, the witch comes and, amazing things happen.
I mean, but like the whole freaking story of Thanksgiving was these motherfuckers came here and were dying.
Right.
They couldn't live without the convenience of a more civilized society. They're idiots.
Right. So apparently in the Olympics, there was this Bacchal feast, and it may or may not have been a parody at the first shot of it of all these drag queens of the Last Supper. Well, the Last Supper isn't biblical. Okay, the Last Supper is a painting. So,
well, I mean, the supper did happen.
Yeah, I understand that, but what I'm saying
in the
is,
Bible.
Yes. What I'm saying is, it's not a holy thing.
The whole like washing the feet.
Yeah,
and this is my blood.
It's great. It's great, but it's not a holy thing. You can't say a depiction of something is a holy thing. It's not.
Oh,
it's
the painting
it's a
of
painting.
what happened.
It's a painting.
Yeah, the painting
I've seen
of what
The
happened.
Last Supper with dogs, with cats,
bulldogs,
with robots.
Yeah, with robots.
I mean, come on.
This is true. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous.
No, it's because of who is doing it.
Exactly. It's because of who was doing it. If they had a Last Supper and it would have been puppies, people would have thought it was
if they would have had the
adorable.
Last Supper, if they would have had the Last Supper with like JD Vance and Trump and all those guys.
Oh, they do that though. They do that. They have the conservatives and they have like, Jesus. Oh God. I don't even want to
They would love that.
The opening ceremonies for the Olympics was crazy balls.
Well, my absolute favorite part was the horse ride down the Seine.
That was way cool.
That was so cool. And I was like obsessed with watching the leg movement because I thought robotically it was so beautiful.
Visually, that was amazing.
Yeah.
Just the
and
look
that,
of the
imagine
was
on that really weird float. It was like a weird shiny rock
with the fiery piano.
Yeah, and they lit the piano on fire.
Well, that was so and the fact that the whole thing was in the rain. It
made it a little
nuts.
bit prettier, though.
It was.
It was more sparkly.
And then, come on, man. How about Gojira, the metal band? That was unbelievable.
Were they the one who did the
Marie Antoinette?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that was cool. And like, France.
That's going for it, baby.
Look, France beheaded a lot of like innocent people and invented the guillotine and things like this. And they're just like, yep, that's what we did.
They own their history.
Yep, we beheaded bitches.
That's right. At the end of the song, it was like an entire explosion of red streamers.
Of blood.
Blood coming out of the
fountains of blood.
Of the Bastille. It was unbelievable.
I mean, they're just like, yeah,
like,
that was me.
That's
what
us.
you gonna do about it?
Us.
That was us.
I'll tell you what that ceremony was cinematic.
Well, it like just felt really French.
You're
like we don't care.
Yeah, fuck you. You don't like it.
I don't wear deodorant.
Suck it.
I'm a little sloppy. I drink too much wine. Like
you're saying that the Olympics opening ceremony was not wearing deodorant and it was drinking too much wine.
I mean, it was kind of quintessentially French.
It really did feel that way.
And I have the right to say that because I am a little French.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. So we tried to watch Ferrari, which is a Michael Mann movie.
Oh, man, that was so boring. That was more like old school Michael Mann shit.
It was just like 10 minutes in. And
it was really
just
boring.
Really, really dull.
I was like...
See, here's the thing about Adam Driver. Man, you got to get him in the right role because he will. He's very intense, and I really love him. But he's not. I mean, you have to settle in with this guy. Okay, he's not going to. He's not Ryan Reynolds. He's not going to entertain you from word go.
Yeah, that's okay. Ryan Reynolds is too much for me.
No, he's not. We've got to see that movie.
The way that Ryan Reynolds, like every single line, he's like this, and he goes like it. It's so.
That's the character.
Gets on my nerves.
That's the character. You can't blame him.
Then how come he's
character.
like that in interviews?
All right.
It's just as annoying.
Okay, you want to know?
If there was a movie with Ryan Reynolds and Dax Shepard in it, I would probably kill everyone.
God! Oh, that would be awful. Okay.
They're the same person in my head.
You know who can carry a movie?
Who?
Michael Keaton.
Oh, yeah. That was a very unexpected movie.
I loved that movie. It's called Knox Goes Away.
A Knox or Knox?
No, it's Knox. That's his name. Knox.
Knox Goes Away.
Knox Goes Away. And it basically, when you hear the idea of the movie, which is like, this hitman and he gets dementia, and then he has one more thing he has to do.
I think it would have been cooler.
Yeah.
Had he not been a hitman.
Yeah. The hitman thing was the kind of the dumb part of it.
Yeah, he could have just been a retired cop.
Right. And then his son comes to him and says,
This guy raped my girl.
I killed this guy.
This guy raped my kid. I killed him.
Right. And then he comes up with a brilliant plan of how to get his son off.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. It was, and then all of a sudden Al Pacino shows up.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Pacino.
And he's great in it.
Man, he looks old.
Yeah, well, he's almost 90, babe.
I know, but like, I thought he was like getting like injected with the blood of virgins or something for most of his life.
Yeah, adenochromed. No.
I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, he looks
He's
old.
like the crypt keeper.
No, he's not like the crypt keeper. He had like good hair in this. It was definitely a wig.
Oh, was it?
Oh, yeah, that was definitely a wig. Absolutely.
Well, that was interesting. I did not know why he was dancing with a 10-year-old. She wasn't 10, but she was probably 22.
His super young girlfriend did it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think things like that are like a requirement from the actor.
I want a super young girlfriend.
Yeah, exactly. I want a super young girlfriend. I've never tried Al Pacino. How'd I do? See, sometimes you have to just jump into an impression without even trying it.
Yeah.
You know, and just, I want a super young girlfriend.
Huh. Okay. That's not horrible. I'm not going to go down the impressions road with you. We know what happens.
Oh, yeah.
No,
we do know what happens.
We do know what happens.
We do know what happens.
Not doing that.
Hey, rookie. All right. Anyway. No, it was directed by Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
Which I thought about it and I was like, well, I didn't really notice the direction. Like it wasn't a particularly beautiful film by any stretch.
No.
But it really, you know what it kind of reminded me of? People think of like John Cassavetes and they think of movies like, you know, A Woman Under the Influence or, you know, those kind of movies.
Yeah.
But he also did some movies like what is the name of it? The one with Gina Rowlands, where she was the mob mall and the kid accidentally saw somebody getting killed. Gloria.
I almost said Gloria.
Gloria is fantastic. They actually remade Gloria with Sharon Stone. And it was still good. But the Gina Rowlands version of Gloria, where she's just like dragging this kid all around like, you know, early 1980s New York, you know, trying to avoid. Oh, it's amazing. But that's also a John Cassavetes movie.
Right.
You know, and that movie kind of reminded me of that. It kind of reminded me of like okay, we're going to take a genre idea.
Yeah, and turn it into a character piece.
Right, exactly. Oh, and then Ray McKinnon's in it.
Yeah.
We love you, Ray. Ray is the best.
I haven't seen Ray around in a while.
Ray is the best. Have I ever told our Ray McKinnon story? Well, we met him. We met him at our first film festival.
Yeah, we were there with a short film.
And Ray sat down with about 4 or 5 other filmmakers, and we had all sort of like congregated together. And I knew exactly who he was.
Yeah.
And he was there with a movie called Crystal with Billy Bob Thornton. And he sat down, and I tell this story over and over and over again because it meant so much to me. Because he sat down and he said, well, we're all here at the same festival, so I guess we're all the same person. And he just started talking with us.
Yeah.
You know, the whole vibe was that he was no better than us because he was at the same festival we were at.
Even though he was in Apollo 13.
Oh, I know. And Deadwood. I mean, because that's where I really knew him from.
Oh, yeah. I love him.
Was his incredible.
I've always liked him. In Crystal.
He got the palsy in Deadwood.
In Crystal, there's like the best hillbilly fight ever. It is the best fight ever.
Redneck Fight Club. That's what somebody yells out.
Yeah. It was so good. It was just a bunch of hands like slapping.
So funny.
It was great.
That movie is incredible. Why can't this character be a woman? Like the Ray McKinnon character could have been a woman. You know, it doesn't make any difference. I think we're all stuck in these tropes of like, this has to be this and this has to be this.
Well, just like he didn't have to be a hitman.
No, he didn't.
And maybe his
the
grandpa.
root of the story made him being a hitman not just ancillary, it made it cliche.
Cliche.
Yeah, it made it dumb.
Yeah, it turned it cliche when it didn't have to be.
It didn't have to be.
It could have been a really cool little story
It
of
could have.
like, redemption.
Yes.
Where it wasn't that.
Right.
No, it was still fun. It was still a good movie to watch.
It was, and Michael Keaton was just like eating it up. I
Well,
mean, he was just like,
I think as an aged actor, he's finally gotten out of the mirror.
mm-hmm.
I think that happened with Annette Bening too. She's out of the mirror now.
Right.
Where you feel,
Oh, Annette Bening. Oh,
man, apples fall.
Why did we do that?
Apples
Why did we
fall far.
Apples never fall.
Apples never fall. That show was some bad writing.
Why did we watch that?
Well, I mean, there were a couple of people in it that kept me watching.
Yeah.
And Annette Bening, as she's gotten older.
And that one lady from Community.
But I will say, I looked at you at one point and I said, God, who is this actor, this cheap Sam Neill actor? And you go, it's Sam Neill. And I'm like, no way. He doesn't look like Sam Neill.
No, you insisted it was not Sam Neill.
And it was Sam Neill.
No, I know Sam Neill.
I was like, he's got Sam Neill's voice.
He is and will always be the Antichrist to me.
Yeah.
He is Damien
and Event
Thorne.
Horizon. Event Horizon.
Yeah. Oh, I did not like that movie. That movie is
it's too gross for you?
It's a lot. That movie is
gore,
a lot. Yeah.
gory, horror.
Yeah, but it's gore in a way that's just really graphic and really, really brutal.
Yeah, like
Hellraiser.
It
is. Yeah, but to me, Event Horizon is worse than Hellraiser.
Yeah. Well, I was like, this guy has Sam Neill's voice, but he does not look Sam. And I don't know what's happened to him. Maybe he just aged so much that he was not recognizable. Or like maybe he's had work.
Oh, also In the Mouth of Madness.
Oh, he's good in that.
That's such a good movie. Boy, underrated.
Dude, Sam Neill, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's true. Sam
Forget
Neill. A
about
lot
it.
of love for Sam Neill,
Forget
man.
about it.
Forget about it. Sam Neill's
He's
had a
so
career,
good.
man.
I know, he's so good.
Yes,
but he got old.
Damien Thorne, baby.
No,
Yeah.
I was thinking about it the other day. Like, there's going to come a time, probably in the next 10 years, that so many amazing actors will die.
Well, it's already started to happen.
Yeah.
It really, I mean, it really has happened with musicians.
Yeah.
I mean, all the time, every week, it's like an amazing musician has died. And, I mean, it's crazy, because it really makes you personally feel old.
Well, I just feel a little hopeless because I'm like, what is their replacement?
Right.
Who is that good?
There is no replacement.
Yeah. I mean, but like that talent and that ability is just gone.
Well, yes, that's one way of seeing it.
Yeah. It makes me feel a little hopeless, but I'm like, I look at the new crop,
right.
And they're just not.
Well, it's just a different
there yet.
It's just a different thing, though. It's just a different thing. I mean,
yeah. And then I wonder.
You have to look for greatness now. It's not thrust upon you.
Yeah.
You have to find it.
Well, we really wanted to watch that movie with the guy from Twisters and that other girl from. It's like not.
What?
It's about like he's holding her in this dress in the cover of it.
I don't know
what
you're talking about.
Gil, what's his name?
What are you talking about?
The lead guy from
Twisters. You're talking about Glen Powell.
Glen.
Yes. Yeah, that's that Idea of You. Okay, so what happened is that movie, which has Glen Powell and Julia Sweeney, comes out, and it doesn't do that great. It's like doing $3.5 million or whatever. And then it goes on a tear for about 6 weeks in theaters.
Oh,
it
wow.
makes over $100 million.
Oh, wow.
Because people were hungry for it. They were hungry for that kind of movie.
Yeah.
And that movie really established Julia Sweeney.
Well, there's a whole genre that has died, which was like date night movies.
Right.
Like they've really died.
Right. So Glen Powell goes from Top Gun Maverick to Idea of You to Hitman, and now to Twisters.
No, I mean
He's on a tear.
He's on a tear.
Yeah.
Oh, what about
Damage Path?
Damage Path.
And then Julia Sweeney does Idea of You, and she does Immaculate, the horror movie.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So
but did you hear about that Robert Downey Jr.
Yes.
Iron Man?
Right. He is going to be Doctor Doom.
Being Doctor Doom, which I feel is just weird.
Okay. Doctor Doom is one of the greatest villains in the Marvel Universe.
Okay, well, good for him.
He is.
But if there's a multiverse...
We've never had a good Doctor Doom.
But this is what I don't understand. If there is a multiverse, which these people have created,
100% is a multiverse.
Then there's a multiverse situation where Iron Man's not dead.
Correct.
That means he can't be Iron Man and Doctor Doom at the same time.
Of course he can.
Tony Stark isn't Doctor Doom in every multiverse either.
Right.
He can't be two people.
But this is a universe where Doctor Doom is Robert Downey Jr.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, I just think
you're not following the rules of your own story.
I just think it's going to be very, very difficult to see Robert Downey Jr. in. You know what it's going to feel like? It's going to feel like one of those episodes of Magnum PI or Star Trek, where there's the evil version of the same character. Okay, it's going to be like put a beard on them. And all of a sudden, they're the evil version in the mirror universe.
Oh, the beard
thing.
Guy.
Except Tony Stark has the beard, so maybe they'll take the beard off of him.
I just don't think you're following your own rules.
It's going to be very, very difficult.
And honestly, the Fantastic Four has never been good. Every time they try it, it's never been good.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a great comic and maybe it plays better in comic form.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to make this any good. I mean, they're trying, obviously, if they're hiring him.
I mean, they have a crazy cast. They've got Pedro Pascal,
Which I'm all about.
Right.
I'm all about that cast.
Right.
Like, I love him. He couldn't, I want that man working every single day.
Yeah.
That man needs to be making movies every single day.
And he's going to be Mr. Fantastic, which means that all of his extremities expand. That's for you, Tracy.
Am I blushing? Is he the blue guy?
They're all blue, babe.
Oh, they're all blue?
Yeah, their outfits are all blue. It's like the four. It's
I'm thinking about that one.
Who are you talking about?
With the giant blue guy.
Which giant blue guy?
He's like made out of energy.
What? Oh my God. You're talking about the Watchmen.
Yeah, I'm talking about that guy. Because I like that guy.
You're talking about Dr. Manhattan.
I like Dr. Manhattan.
Oh yeah, Dr. Manhattan is amazing.
What universe is that in? DC or Marvel?
Neither. It's not in either
Good.
universe.
That's why I like it. It's actually good storytelling.
Oh,
that girl had a very, very high bikini.
Yes,
she
did. Yes, she did. There's some questionable makeup in the Watchmen movie, but I feel like the Watchmen movie is still great.
Well, let's do some Meridian.
Oh, absolutely. Great transition.
It was perfect. They get worse, as you pointed out.
I know, that's why it's funny.
Interior, station, medbase space. A white room. Emmeline is lying in bed, her suit removed, in a plastic containment tent. She looks up, seeing Ian Solange.
You scared me, Emmeline.
I don't know what happened. It tasted bad.
You forgot to turn on your O2 scrubber when you left your room. You were breathing carbon dioxide for probably a half hour.
I pushed the disc Miss Smalls gave me.
It's a good thing you did. Emmeline, I need you to know something. I'm not trying to scare you, but you could have suffocated.
I've never forgotten before.
But you did this time, and all our work and preparation would have been for nothing, Emmeline. It's in moments when we are most emotionally engaged that we lose connection to our logic.
Are you mad?
I need you to register what happened. It's an important lesson. We learned nothing from success, Emmeline. We succeeded because we knew how to do something. We were prepared and everything was well thought out. We planned our victory. It was inevitable as the tide. That's the easy part. It's when we fail, when we fall the hardest on our face and bloody ourselves the worst. That's when we can actually gain insight that benefits our mission.
What can I learn from this?
That's what we need you to figure out. Why did you forget?
I don't know.
What were you feeling?
I was hungry because I fell asleep and missed dinner.
But you didn't go to the cafeteria.
No, I saw the sign. I went to the observation deck instead. I wanted to see Earth.
You were distracted and you forgot procedure.
I won't do it again.
Of course you will. But next time, fix it yourself. Find out the problem and take care of it. There is no disc in your pocket where you're going, Emmeline. You are your own savior, or you will not make it.
I have Robbie.
Find the problem, fix it, move on.
I will.
I know you will. Get some rest.
Ian leaves and Emmeline closes her eyes.
I was thinking about the fact that we were in a project where I was like looking at somebody else's script. Sometimes trying to solve a problem when you're writing is like you're trying to get all of the sides to line up on one side of a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, okay, I've got this color going.
Well, this is the feedback I got, and now I fixed that part.
Yes. Okay, I got that going. That's fine. But then you have completely fucked up all the rest of the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
At the same time. So it really doesn't do you any good to just try to work on one side at a time.
No, like feedback is going to affect the rest of the whole thing.
Right.
Because like there will be ripple effects. And sometimes I feel like I'm reading a script or watching a movie and they've had an issue and they've thought they fixed it. But it really like makes the character different.
Mm-hmm.
It changes something there that wasn't accounted for.
Right.
And, you know, the feedback has to flow through the whole rest of the script.
Right. Well, I think that this really happened in your issue going back last week. We were talking about the movie Twisters, where there seemed to be some feedback that was taken, but that they thought that they had solved the problem. But in actuality, it had really just compounded the problem in other parts of the script.
Yeah, it's like all the yellows matched up, but the reds were completely out of order.
Right, right. So,
and whenever you see those dudes like solving the Rubik's Cube with like one hand,
mm-hmm.
I mean, it's a combination of moves.
Right.
They know what solves a Rubik's Cube.
Right.
You just have to memorize the
right.
moves.
Thousands killed. Yeah. Exactly. Right. You're not actually even solving the Rubik's Cube.
No,
you're doing this thing that people know how to do, which will naturally solve the Rubik's Cube.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and that's kind of the interesting thing is out of chaos,
mm-hmm.
out of the chaos of its disarray is a formula.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I think, well, I remember as a kid having a Rubik's Cube and everybody being into that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, okay, you know, the easiest way to solve this is take all the stickers off.
That's your love of cheating.
Yeah.
You have a deep
and
abiding love of cheating.
I solved it.
Exactly. Yeah, I never really got the whole Rubik's Cube thing. I mean,
I was more of a Simon person.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Simon was fun. Absolutely. I remember being at Mary John Wilkins' house at the mansion, and she had one of the first Simons, and I thought it felt like the future. It was like, oh my God, this is a game that lonely people can play.
Right. Well, I remember
finally a lonely person's game. Nobody likes me. Be my friend, Simon.
My first Atari with like metal switches and stuff.
Yes.
And like that, we got to play an arcade game at home.
I remember that my dad was so anti-video game. But then I thought about it and I was like, we had Pong so early.
Yeah.
We did. And I was just like, yeah, Dad was not anti-video game. It was all convenient. It was
better to say you didn't
like
it so you didn't have to spend money on it.
So you didn't have to pay for it. Exactly. Because there were a few times we got video games. We got like the GoBots of video games. We got like the GoBots, they were like
the cheap
Transformers.
Yeah.
We got the video games that nobody else wanted.
Yeah.
Sometimes they were really good though. Sometimes they were really good.
Do you remember
I
that?
never had Mario Brothers or anything like that.
Did your family fall for that one Christmas when there was the VHS game?
Yes, I thought that those were so cool. They
did
VHS.
not work.
Well,
they did not work at all.
Yeah.
You can't have a game with a videotape.
Yeah. I mean,
that was a whole scam.
But the thing about it is you can play it once.
Yeah, but that was a scam.
How is it a scam? You're playing it once and it's fun.
You have like controllers.
Done. Yeah.
And you couldn't control it. It's a VHS.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know.
You can sit there and watch the VHS.
I think I had a different one. We had a board game that was like a horror themed board game with a VHS tape.
No. It was like a thing that hooked up to your VHS player.
Oh no. Yeah, I didn't have that.
It was a total scam. Nobody ever talks about that. But some company spent some money for advertising at Christmas.
I think it affected you, babe.
It did. It's like my picture pages never came.
What is with picture pages? Everyone I've ever talked to, okay, that's when we should have known that Bill Cosby was a piece of shit because picture pages never came.
Picture pages.
They never came. I was so freaking excited. I paid my money, my little $2 or $3 for picture pages. They never came.
I saw the Reading Rainbow documentary.
Oh, okay.
It was really lovely.
Yes.
And like LeVar Burton, boy, he made that show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I saw, it was LeVar Burton and he was talking to Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
And this was crazy, because basically LeVar Burton said, I have my chains from Roots hung above my 14 Emmys.
Wow. That's cool.
And Samuel L. Jackson was like, well, why is that? He's like, so it reminds me constantly how I became, who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, and I may be safe, but I am still an angry motherfucker.
Mm.
And I was like, yes! Somebody get LeVar Burton a villain role!
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. John and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.